Hi, my name is Austin Zoot, and welcome back to the Zoot Perspective Web Congregation. We've had a little bit of an off-season, a little bit of a sabbatical period while I've been in school learning some of the things that I hope to then bring into this summer full of Torah portions and full of learning and full of applying Judaism to the rest of our lives in the outside world. So here we go. In this week's portion, Bahar, we're learning about sabbatical years for the land. Now, every 7 years, we're instructed by God to give the land a period of rest, where the land is to be unkempt, it's to be non-harvested, and we're supposed to live off of whatever falls from the trees, whatever falls from the plants, but we're not supposed to go out and do work on it. We're not supposed to go tend the field. We're also told about a period of 7 weeks of 7 years, 49 years, in which after 49 years you're supposed to have a jubilee, a year in which everybody celebrates, everybody enjoys the bounty of another 50-year period, and also frees us from certain obligations. The Torah portion goes on to explain the freedom from certain contracts, certain binding obligations, and certain debts that are freed after a certain period of time in order that we all take care of one another. Now, there's two pieces of this. In one piece, the implications for how we're supposed to take care of nature are profound. We're told that none of the land that we own is actually ours. All land is actually God's. Now, that framing piece is huge. We talk about it all the time. This land isn't each of ours or any of ours, but rather all of ours, and we need to take care of it for future generations. And for God, in this Torah portion, to have put it so bluntly as to say, you don't own it, I own it, and you need to take care of it for me, with me in mind and for my purposes in mind, really changes the way we think about land. And for the Jewish people, land is a huge part of our identity, where we have a promised land. Our entire journey through the Torah is in trying to get us back to a land that God has promised us. Our whole pursuit is in this search for an identity associated with land. To know that God believes that land is his tool to use for creating those partnerships and those connections really changes our focus when we think about when we get into the land of Israel, how we are to take care of it and how we're to think about our relationship to it. The second piece of it is the human connection between one and the other. It would be easy to confuse this portion as one of how to take care of the land when we get there and how to be good farmers. But it's not about how to be good farmers. It's about how to be good to one another. We have these rules about freeing ourselves of contracts and freeing the debts of those who are poor and taking care of one another when we have these binding agreements that can at times become suffocating. And the reason for that, I believe, is because God knows that as soon as we get into the land, we're going to get bogged down in the minutia of day-to-day operations. We're going to be so focused on our goal of having a land and running it our way that we're going to lose sight of the people around us that make the land ours. And as a result, God builds in this little safety net of, here are the ways you don't forget the people around you. Here's how you don't forget to take care of one another and remember the focal point of, this is all about how you treat one another, how you interact with one another, and how you be a holy people in that pursuit. This Torah portion is a reminder that while we set goals for ourselves and we have ideas about the way we want the world to be, nothing is more important than maintaining our values, maintaining our morals, and pursuing our goals with those things in mind. We can have our dreams and we can have our goals and we can feel that accomplishment, but all of it is for nothing if we can't also remember the reason we're trying to be good people in the first place. That's what I'm getting out of this week's Torah portion. I would love to hear what you have to say. What are your thoughts on our obligation to nature? What are your thoughts on our interaction with one another? Please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and of course, Shabbat Shalom.